Now, joining me to discuss the list extensively is a sports journalist with Nigerian Info Port Harcourt. Enyimba joins us this evening. Good evening to you. Welcome to Game On.
Hi, Flavor. Good evening.
All right, you've seen the list, and trust me, definitely you have something to say about the list. When you saw the list of 25-man squad released by Jose Peseiro, what did you make of the list released by the coach?
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with the list. 25-man is kind of funny because he has an opportunity to pick 27, which is the official number the Confederation of African Football has given out. But then he ends up picking 25. And then you're also looking at the list. A lot of people complain about Ahmed Musa, but I'm a huge supporter of that. You need the experience of Ahmed Musa. We could talk of Mikel John, the former captain of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and what he did for the Super Eagles during his time. Ahmed Musa is now the captain. You need the experience from Ahmed Musa, at least heading into a competition like this. He also won the Africa Cup of Nations in 2013, then with the late Stephen Keshi. But I look at the list, and one man that I'm pretty much not happy didn't make the list is Terem Murphy. Wonderful, currently playing for OGC Nice in the French Ligue 1. But surprisingly, he doesn't make the list. Has already made 16 appearances this season, has also found the back of the net 6 times. But it's kind of surprising when you look at the list. I had to go through it again and go through it again. And then I realized that there was no Terem Murphy in the list.
All right, now you've mentioned Terem Murphy, in the particular list, but when you look at the number of attackers we have more attackers than midfielders. And when it comes to the world of football, yes, you need the midfield, which is the engine room in your team to supply the passes to the strikers. Are you not worried also about the midfield situation? Kelechi Nwakali did not make this particular list, and we have some set of midfielders who have been absent from the national team for a while, coming back into the team. Yes, they are currently playing for their club sides, but at the moment, they have not played together for a long time. I'm talking about Ndidi and the likes in the midfield.
If you look at how the Super Eagles have always set up from such a long while, we always kind of play 2 holding midfielders. It's mostly been either Ndidi and Alex Iwobi, or it's been Ndidi and Joe Aribo. Then we draft in a lot of the names in the forwards as wingers. Samuel Chukwueze, you also look at the likes of Moses Simon, you also look at senior man Kelechi Iheanacho. These guys most times are played in midfield, so they play from the flanks. Super Eagles most time play in a 4-3-3 formation or a 4-2-3-1 formation. So when you look at it, if you're playing a Wilfred Ndidi and maybe an Alex, it will be deep in midfield. But attacking midfielders, you have the likes of Moses Simon from the flank, Samuel Chukwueze from the flank, maybe also an opportunity for Kelechi Iheanacho to also play behind the striker. So I'm pretty much not surprised with the number of midfielders picked up. You can also talk about this whenever we head out into qualifying games, whether it's the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers or whether it's even the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. We always head into the games with about 4 midfielders just called up. We have, I think, 5 midfielders called up. I'm not surprised with it, and to me, there's no problem at all.
All right, no problem at all, says you. And now let's go straight to the goalkeeping department. Yes, Stanley Nwabili was a name that popped up about a month ago. Yes, Jose Peseiro went to South Africa to watch him, keep for Chippa United. But we had an Adebayo who had been consistent with the national team and getting to miss out, from the squad. And a gate crash of Stanley Nwabili. What do you make of it?
I think that's where the 25, the number 25 for the players carried out is where we still have an issue, because you have an opportunity to pick 27 players. Why not go with the 27 players? Why not pick the 27 players so that they go and represent the Super Eagles of Nigeria? But at the end of the day, you end up picking just 25 players. So to me, it's kind of funny. With all due respect to Stanley Nwabili and how he's performing currently with in the South African League, it's not been bad at all. At least as back in the years, we could talk of him playing in the Nigeria Premier Football League, representing the likes of Enyimba, Lobby Stars, amongst others. But currently now in South Africa, he spoke of Adeleye and what he's been doing in the Israeli League. He wasn't called up for the last set of qualifiers for the World Cup because the Israeli League as at then was on break. I felt maybe that was the excuse. But now and again, you're already looking at, okay, 25-man list has been brought out, and there's no Adeleye in it. He's already kept 1 game for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Eventually, we were victorious in that game. It's pretty much surprising that he doesn't even make the list, with Stanley hopping into the list.
All right, and now, of course, with the list being released, a lot of persons have said, why did the coach have to release a 40-man squad and not giving opportunities to players to go into camp? And then at the end of the day, you come out with a 25-man squad. What was the essence of the 40-man list even when the players did not have opportunity to gel or to even come together before a final list is released, knowing fully well that on the 3rd of January is the deadline for the final list?
I really don't know the reason. I really don't know the reason. You're looking at the camp dates, which the players are supposed to arrive on the 2nd, and then the final list should be released on the 3rd. I really don't know the reason why he released the 40-man, but even before the 40-man was released, I already knew one thing, that he knew the players he wanted to take to the Africa Cup of Nations. Eventually, he is going with 25, with the 25-man list, and it's kind of surprising. Okay, a good one that he called up 40 men, showed us maybe the caliber of players that we could get out from the various leagues around the world that could come and represent the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And at the end of the day, he now bring up, I think a week just after he brought out the 25-man list, he ends up bringing just, after he brought out the 40-man list, I beg your pardon, he ends up just bringing out the 25-man list. It's kind of surprising to me, but is it a rush? I don't know if it's a rush. I don't think it's a rush, because to me, precisely, I think he already knew the players he planned on taking to the Africa Cup of Nations.
All right, you don't think it was a rush, and we already know that there's a hashtag already going on, let's do it again. Can they indeed do it again?
A difficult question, most especially when you look at our last 2 qualifying games, where we felt to the Super Eagles of Nigeria were going to be victorious. They ended up drawing down here at home and also away from home. It's going to be difficult for me to say we'll go in there and give a good impression. The last Nations Cup, we went to the round of 16 after winning all 3 games in the group stage. And we felt that, okay, after winning the 3 games, the Super Eagles could end up doing it. Unfortunately, they lost out to Tunisia in the round of 16. I won't rush and say, yes, they can do it. But I would say we should take it 1 game at a time. From the very first game, which goes down for us on the 14th of January, to the second game, which is on the 18th of January. I think we just have to take it 1 game at a time. And at the end of the day, we could just maybe get
all right,
the 4th Africa Cup of Nations title for Nigeria.
All right, well said. 1 game at a time. I did want to put you on the spot. What is the realistic target for the Super Eagles? Or where do you think they would finish? I mean, let me ask you now the realistic place you think the Super Eagles will finish.
We're heading for the trophy.
Heading for the trophy?
Yeah, we're heading for the trophy.
All right, today is the...
Personally, we're winning a short Nations Cup.
Please, can you come again so Nigeria and Africa can hear you again?
We're winning the 4th Nations Cup.
All right. Today is the last Friday of the month of December, and also the last Friday in the year 2023. We'll hold you to your words come February 13th, 2024, should the Super Eagles, of course, win or not win. We'll be back to this conversation, but of course, I must thank you, Enyimba, for your time, and we wish the Super Eagles well. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, Favor.